This music's tight. Hello, everybody. How we doing? How's your day been going? How we feeling? Feeling good? Feeling productive? My name is Rodney. If you already knew that, thank you so much for coming back. This is, we're just talking Raiders, baby. We're talking Raiders. We're talking sports. We're talking life. We're talking whatever you guys want to talk about. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing if you'd be so inclined. We got Madden stuff coming out. We got, we got Just Talk, baby. We got the live show every Thursday, 6:15. We got the pre-tape specific topic every Tuesday. You guys comment. I throw them up on the screen. We want whatever you guys want to talk about, and this will go as long as you guys want to go. You guys want to talk about Raiders, NFL, anything, any topic you'd like to talk about within reason. Let's get into it. Dominique, what do I have to do to reach mod status? To be completely honest with you, I don't know how to. How do I do it? Do I have to do it on YouTube? Because I'm on StreamYard right now. So if I go to YouTube, because I did it before, I think to like Diego maybe. I don't quite remember who I gave the mod to, but I'm going to YouTube right now. Let's see if I'm able to do it. Okay. Oh, I got an advertisement. Dominique. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. You've done it. You've done it. You've been promoted. Not giving those out willy-nilly. Okay, I'm just saying. But yeah, how you guys doing? How we feeling? What do we want to talk about? Give a little more time for more people to come in here. Also, crazy NBA trade too. We could talk about whatever we want to talk about here. 75-28. What's going on, man? How we feeling? How we doing? Let's get some more people in here. Let's start talking. Let's start chatting about anything you guys want. I'm going on the Raiders Bleach Report thing right here to see if we got anything interesting. You want to talk about the 2017 season? The Raiders 2017 season? What about it? Let's talk about it. Jack Del Rio's last ride before the craziness started. Interesting season. EJ Manuel started against the Ravens. My memory with this stuff is insane. And that's not a brag. That's just, I don't even know why I know this stuff. Obviously, there are some games that I choose to forget. Like I don't even remember playing the Browns once that whole season. Not the Browns, the Broncos. Excuse me. Obviously, that was the game. That was a season where we started out 2-0. Marshawn Lynch dancing on the sideline during the Jets game. And then that crazy, was it like 3 or 4 untimed downs against the Chiefs? That was that season, right? If I remember correctly. Finished 6-10. Del Rio was fired during his last press conference, which, in my opinion, was not the move at all. Um, I would have never done that. But it got us to where we are today. I don't know if that's any better or worse. It just got us to where we are. So, well, I mean, what do you specifically want to talk about 2017 wise? You say it's overlooked. You you want to talk about that was probably Derek's worst statistical season other than his rookie year, and he made the Pro Bowl, which shows you the Pro Bowl is just a joke. Yeah, it was an interesting season for sure. I see more people popping in here. You guys leave your questions, and I'll get to them. Right now, we're talking about the 2017 season. What else was interesting about that year? Amari Cooper, Crabtree. Oh, Crabtree versus Aqib Talib, the chain incident, the ripping of the chain, legendary. We were 6-6, I believe, with 4 games to go, and then that was the rest of that. But anyway, if you were GM, give me one name you would take in the first round. Great question. Great question. And before I get to this, I will answer this. By the way, we got the preseason of the Madden series coming out Sunday, 3 p.m. before the Super Bowl. We could talk about the Super Bowl too. Golly, that's probably a good topic for today. So we got that coming out. Then we got. So I just uploaded. If you guys haven't seen it, my thoughts on Derek Carr's contract, which is the same version of this show, but it's me playing Madden stuff while I'm talking about it. It's a pre-tape. So if you have any questions for me, for next or this Tuesday's video, go to this past Tuesday's video, leave a comment, a question, and I'll answer it in that one. But I'll answer stuff here too. If you were a GM, give me one name you would take in the first round. This is all contingent upon if we sign a wide receiver. I'm going to say right now, although I'm not spoiling what I did as the GM, I'm going to say that we're not going to go big game hunting for wide receiver. I think that's one of the positions we're going to want to keep relatively cheap, which means that we're going to draft one. Now, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and the Williams from Alabama. Those three, I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I'm not the best when it comes to wide receivers. I'm a quarterback guy. But there's one player that I have seen play every snap of his college career, and I know that Jahan Dotson is an absolute stud. Now listen, am I biased? Where is it? Hold on. Am I biased? No, I'm going to turn it this way. Can you see this? I don't know how to turn it. It's reversed. It's a Penn State jacket. I'm in State College right now. Am I biased to Jahan Dotson? Sure, maybe. But he is fast, and he can get up like somebody else that used to be on our team. And I think that could potentially be somebody that I would look into, just saying. Richard, what's going on, man? How we doing? How we feeling? How are we? Oh boy, we're already predicting records. Okay. Well, I mean, this is pre-draft, pre-car extension / trade, pre-free agency. So this is this is kind of arbitrary. I would say I don't know. Here's what I'll say. I'm not going to do numbers. I think that we should make the playoffs. I think we will make the playoffs. And that's really all I'll get into. I'll do a video eventually, but half of our roster is not going to be the same. So it's sort of a wait and see approach. Me, I'm not a Carr fan, and Carr stands keep saying Carr needs the right coaches and the right weapons, etc. Okay, well, you guys know my position on this. I don't know, Raider 7528. If you're new to the channel, old to the channel, my position on Derek Carr is my position on any player that ever puts the Raider uniform on. I don't look for only the positives. I don't look for only the negatives. I just see it for what it is. And don't get me wrong, there are Carr stands out there. I know a few. There are also a bunch of Carr haters out there, and I'm not calling you a Carr hater, but I know a few. Here's what I've always said about Derek Carr, and I'll say this until he's not on the roster anymore. He is a quarterback that you could win a Super Bowl with. He is in a tier of quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, who was like the high end of this, or the low end would be like Jimmy Garoppolo, the Ryan Tannehills, the Kirk Cousins. I think I think Carr is on the higher end of this tier, but he's in that tier without a doubt. There are also a tier of quarterbacks that you can win multiple Super Bowls with: Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen, Brady, but he's not in the league anymore. So, yes, he is the type of quarterback that, when in the right situation, can win you a Super Bowl. And I think Stafford is probably the best example of this, right? You would call the Stafford stands. You'd call them stands for saying, boy, if Stafford just got in the right scenario, he'd be awesome. And then he got traded to the Rams, and people were like, all right, Stafford, let's see what you got. And I don't know if you heard, but they're playing in the Super Bowl in a few days. So that's kind of where I stand on him. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the contract. So we'll see about that. Kind of funny, but kind of a funny question. But if you're in charge of Madden ratings, what would you give our players? Oh, that's a good question. I'm obviously not going to get into anyone. I think Hunter Renfro's got to go way up. He's in the low 80s. I think he's an 81 or an 82. He's got to go way up. And then Carr is like an 82 right now. Last time I checked, he's probably around an 83. Crosby's in the high 80s, so that's also good. So there's I think Colton Miller is the lowest graded. He's like in the 70s, I think, maybe 79, 80. He should be way up there. He's one of the best left tackles in the league. That's a good question. I'll have to take a look at what they are rated and get back to you on that for the next one. But that is a good question. It's a really good question. And if you guys are new, like I said, just keep throwing stuff in here. We'll throw them up on the screen. And if you're new, like first time ever seeing me, hey, subscribe, man. It's cool. We're having fun. 2017, he had the weapons. He picked the coach with Todd Downing and see how that went. He had weapons, decent O-line, 22 ranked defense. Well, I mean, I don't think you're wrong in saying that 2017 was just a bad year all around. He did have a few games where he broke like a vertebrae in his back. Didn't that happen? But he only missed one game. Yeah, Todd Downing was not it, and whether he picked him or whether the front office tricked Del Rio into getting rid of Musgrave, I think Todd Downing was the main reason that was not the best year. Also, we're seeing now Amari is not the dog that everyone thought he was when he was here. He has sort of this fight or flight thing, and he flights more than he fights. So, and listen, I'm not making excuses. 2017, it should have been a really good year. But, I think he's bounced back from that. He had a better year the year after on a rebuilding team. How many Super Bowls has Rodgers won? Exactly. That's a great point. And he's had nothing but anything he's ever wanted. So it's a great question or a great observation. Ooh, look at this. The great 18 mil. Is that how much we're going to pay Davante Adams? Anyway, appreciate the comment, bro. Carr and Abrams will be traded. I didn't think about Abrams being traded. Jonathan Abram. I didn't think about Abram being traded. I don't know what you would get for him. A fourth? I would try to keep Jonathan Abram if I could. Oh, Carr. I would trade Carr for the right price. It's just we have to have some sort of contingency plan at quarterback to not just be abysmal, and I don't think Josh McDaniels is. I don't think he's trying to lose. I think he came here because he could win now. So I don't think Carr or Abram is going anywhere for the foreseeable future. It's interesting. You think you can win multiple Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers, and I think he only has one. I know it's crazy. I mean, he's been to 4 straight NFC championships prior to this year, and hello. I don't know what just happened there. My camera looked like it cut out. He's like 1-5 in NFC championship or something crazy. But yeah, how we doing? You can come from some facts you want to talk down about Carr because honestly, he never has a true number one receiver. Well, I mean, yeah. Listen, Carr's a polarizing player. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying that he's like borderline top 10. I think some people just think that they expect more than he's able to do. Like he cannot just elevate. There's very few quarterbacks that can elevate an average roster to a Super Bowl. I mean, look at Deshaun Watson pre-scandal or whatever is going on with him. Everyone said Deshaun Watson, top 5 quarterback. And then went 4-12 the last year he played all 16 games. When I talk about Aaron Rodgers' worst statistical season was like 7-9. So, football's the ultimate team sport. I think you need players. You need players to be able to, succeed. Ritter Coho 916. What's up, all boy? How you liking our coaching staff? I love it, bro. I absolutely freaking love it. Josh McDaniels, if I was doing like a coaching tier thing, would have been at the top. If I thought it was possible that he was going to leave, I never thought he was going to leave New England. I thought he was just going to be the heir apparent to Belichick. And the fact that they were able to pry him away, and then he stole the defensive coordinator from the Giants, who Brian Daboll wanted to keep on the staff, is pretty awesome. All the other position coaches, I don't know really much about them. They're just position coaches. They don't mean that much to me. I do want to see who our OC ends up being. I'm curious about that, even though Josh McDaniels is really the OC. Do you think we should sign a vet agent QB and draft a QB or just one? Well, Peterman's still on the roster, so I guess I would just keep him on the roster for the vet one, for the practice squad. If it was up to me, depending on who was available in like the 4th round, if one of these quarterbacks like Matt Corral or Desmond Ridder or Malik Willis, if one of these first-round talents fell to like the 4th round, I would take one of them 1,000%. I'd Connor Cook it because you never know how good he could be. They didn't draft Dak to take over for Tony Romo right away, so I would draft the quarterback if there was one available that they liked. So that's what I would do with that. And if no spoilers for the Madden stuff, but if you saw the off-season video that I did, then you saw it. That's all I'll say. I think I would consider trading Aiden because I doubt he'll ever be the same again with that shoulder. Yeah, he's getting injured, man. And what sucks is that he was really doing good this year. I thought he was playing really, really well. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of new faces in here. I appreciate the comments. Keep them flowing. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll go as long as you guys want to talk. I am getting a little hungry, though, so we'll see how long that lasts. Super Bowl predictions, ? Plural. Predictions, plural. I got the Rams winning in a close game. MVP, Matt Stafford. I think late in the game, the Lions, listen to me. Late in the game, the Rams make it like an 11-point game. The Bengals get the ball 2 minutes to go. They score a touchdown with like 40 seconds left. Onside kick, don't get it. Rams win. Something like that. Halftime show is going to be sick. Can't wait to see the commercials, the trailers. We're supposed to get some sweet trailers. You guys want to hear about that, though. But yeah, I'm rooting for the Rams because I like Burrow. I like the Bengals, but they'll be back. I don't know how many more times Matthew Stafford's going to be there. So Needs a true number one before we can make that decision. I think if we draft a wide receiver this year or sign Devontae or Chris Godwin, then we have adequate weapons to make a run here. Because Ruggs was that guy. We made the playoffs this season, but how much of that was due to injuries around the league due to COVID? None of it. We won our way in. We won 4 games in a row. The Browns game, Nick Mullins is not that much worse than Case Keenum, who was not that much worse than Baker Mayfield. The Browns didn't have any, again, Teddy Bridgewater is probably just as good as Drew Lock. The Colts were completely healthy, and we went into their house and beat them, and then we pretty much dominated the Chargers for 3.5 quarters. So I would say not that much. What's going on, man? How we doing? If we're going to stick with Carr, at least phase Mariota in, more offensive scheme. He definitely picks up where Carr lacks. Maybe the first round game would have turned out differently. Yeah, they kind of abandoned the whole Mariota thing. Although we were moving the ball really well in that game, we just couldn't get in the end zone. I don't hate bringing Mariota in the run around, but I think he's not going to be on the team. He's going to ask for too much. Not going to ask for too much money, but he will get a chance to start somewhere. I don't know if it's the Saints or the the Commanders. Ugh, yikes! But he's going to go somewhere and start. So, if it were me, I'd trade Carr for a top pick in next year's draft, then re-sign Mariota to a 2-year deal, draft a quarterback next year, move up if we have to, then we're set. I don't hate it. I would sign Mariota to a 1-year deal. I don't hate that. But I would not take a quarterback this year. I don't like any of them. Any of them. And I have a good track record with this stuff. I said Josh Allen was going to be the best quarterback of the 2018 class. I said Ryan Tannehill was going to take Marcus Mariota's job. I'm trying to think of anyone else that I was big on. I said Joe Burrow was going to have an Andrew Luck type change to the Bengals. I didn't think it would be this good because Andrew Luck's never played in the Super Bowl. So I'm usually on this stuff with the quarterbacks that are being drafted, and I hate them all. I think they're all low floor, low ceiling, bad. Let's trade Yannick for Darius Leonard. We have to get the Colts to take Blue Magic. I don't hate that, but I like Yannick. My phone is blowing up right now. What happened? Did we trade Carr? No. Oh, the NBA All-Star Draft. Who could possibly care? Just gonna see Gobert and Mitchell get drafted last again. Anyway, kind of a random trade idea here. I don't hate it, but I think I'd stick with Yannick for one more year. Ardo, how we doing? I can see us drafting a backup very late, but no point in going for a starter with our needs and our top 10 QB. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, like I said, the 4th round, if Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, or Matt Corral, if one of them is there in the 4th round, I would take him in a heartbeat. Yo, what's going on? How we doing? Raiders, absolutely. Marcus needs to start for 2 to 3 years while the rookie sits. No, I don't want Marcus for 3 years. I am not doing that. No. Matthew, who's a defensive free agent that you want on next year's squad? Great question. Heard a little J.C. Jackson rumbling. The Patriots aren't going to be able to keep him, and he's got ties to Josh McDaniels. I just did the Mark Davis. And what's funny about that is I don't know if you guys watched the behind the scenes video on their channel where Josh McDaniels got introduced, but when he got introduced in that video, they added in post production, they added an S sound at the end of McDaniels, so it made it look like Mark Davis said it correctly. I thought that was really funny. J.C. Jackson, Larry Ogunjobi's up there is somebody that I would look into. Maybe another safety. But those are my two. Ogunjobi and J.C. Jackson are kind of high on my list. Carr would have the Rams in the Super Bowl if he was in the Rams. I know. I agree. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I would say they are a Super Bowl contender with him. It would obviously be different if he was on the team. I think if Carr was on the 49ers, that game probably goes differently. I mean, what would Kyle Shanahan do to have Derek Carr on his team? It would be. Oh my God! They would be electric. Are there any players on the team that you want cut? Corey Littleton. Thoughts on J.C. Jackson, especially if Hobbs can't get his act together? I mean, yeah, I don't know if you're a little behind, but I feel like I've answered that. I'm with it. I hope Hobbs doesn't get cut. Oh yeah. Why do these kids? You give them unlimited money and then I don't know, man. Maybe I'd be different in that situation, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I understand. I said what I said, Ardo. I said what I said. Okay, you got a problem? Take it up with Mike Mayock. But I like J.C. Jackson. I like him a lot. He had a pick in the Pro Bowl. That game was like so unwatchable. I wanted to throw up. I liked Crosby trying hard though, and Renfrow got a touchdown, so that was fun. But yeah. I appreciate you guys throwing comments in here. Like I said, this is gonna go as long as you want it to. So if you got anything else for me, let me hear it. If not, I'll hop off. What is going on? Am I just really getting constant updates on the All-Star game? No. Okay. Are you going to any Raider games this year? I plan on going to Raiders at Rams and SoFi. Ooh, fun. I need to look at the Raiders opponents 2022. I'll share the screen for this, so we could all look together and see what games we want to go to. Share screen. Wait, actually, I'm not gonna do this yet. Hold on. I need to find the picture. Here we go. Little Maximus Crosby action here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. There's a couple games I could go to here, me being on the East Coast. Share that screen. Okay. Chrome tab, Raiders opponents. Boom. Okay. So, interesting schedule, man. Away games that I can go to. Jacksonville, Pittsburgh. That's it. Those are the only two games I can go to. And Pittsburgh would be the more likely one. It's right down the road here. So maybe I'll go to the Pittsburgh game. That'd be kind of fun. I was supposed to go to this past one, but ended up not. Whoops. This is sneaky like an easy schedule. You would like to assume that, the Jags are an easy win. The Texans are an easy win. Broncos, both those games, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback, depending on what Rodgers does. Some interesting stuff going on in San Francisco with their quarterback and in Arizona. The Saints, interesting opponents, man. But those are the two games. The Jags and the Lurs are the games that I would go to probably. My autocorrect is selling worse than the reps against the Raiders. I like that. Matthew, I want Littleton gone as well. Every time he went in for Diablo or KJ, he would mess up the flow. Yeah, I don't like to be too negative on people, but he was. It was rough. That was rough for him this year. Just trying to frame this up perfectly here for you guys. Yeah, it's beautiful. There we go. Would you give Carr an extension? Would you draft a QB in the upcoming draft? I'm not going to answer that question because I did a whole video on that. I will answer. The short answer is I would give him an extension. The longer answer, the more fleshed out answer, go watch the video I posted to Just Talk Baby. That was a pre-tape this past Tuesday. It's on the channel. You can go to it. And I have a full-length discussion about why I would do certain things, why I wouldn't do other things, and it's all about his contract. So go check that out. And would I draft a QB in the upcoming draft? I would if one of those four, Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, Matt Corral, were in like the fourth round. I would take one of them. Can you recruit that Penn State receiver while you're there, Dodson? If I see Jahan, I will let him know. I will. We better have a blackout crowd against the 49ers. Yeah, I agree. That's gonna be a fun game. That's gonna be a war. I'm a Maryland guy. I went to the Giants and Chargers game, both in LA. Both are disappointments. That's unfortunate. All I gotta say is, if nothing else for 2022, I want payback in Kansas City. The Bolts, especially for the last game against Mahomes, since I hate them with a passion. Yeah, we got to beat them once, man. We did not play well either time against them. I mean, we didn't have Rogues either time, but or did we? No, we didn't. No, yeah, just Deshaun Jackson. He caught that ball and then it was a fumble. Yeah, yeah. This is a good point actually. The way I would structure his contract would definitely. I'm just saying, like, if I was Ziegler and McDaniel, they would be smart to structure his contract in such a way that it would be tradable if they wanted to move off from him after this season. So that's a good point, honestly. That's a really good point. Colts trying to destroy his revenge game on McDaniels. I didn't even think about that. And we play the Patriots too. That's hilarious. Wow, yeah, they probably hate Josh McDaniels. And they're probably gonna, yeah. I wonder if Carson Wentz just gonna be their quarterback next year. It's good. That's an interesting thing to think about. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers going to the Broncos too. That's so scary. Here goes my phone again. All stars selected. Who cares? You lose your coach and Waller gets hurt. Yeah, I mean, we've established that this season was hard. The season was just a hard season, and the fact that they made the playoffs was very, very. It was impressive, honestly. It was really impressive. I'm just looking at Raiders Twitter here to see if there's anything else I want to touch upon before we head out. And if you guys got anything else you want to talk about, half an hour is probably a good place to stop. But like I said, if you guys want to keep going, we can keep going. If not, I'm going to get some food. And I was having camera problems before this. It was a whole thing. Is Crosby a nominee for defensive player of the year? He shouldn't win, but is he a nominee? No, he's not. T.J. Watt, Michael Parsons, Aaron Donald. That's unfortunate. But anyway, guys, yeah, I appreciate the watch. Hypothetical trade packages for Derek Carr. Okay, let's look at this one. The Aaron Rodgers trade. So we get Aaron. They get Derek and a first and 2 firsts. Seems like a lot. The Jack Del Rio reunion. We get 2 Commander first round picks. Daniel Jones, no thanks. Yikes. Ardo. We have 0 defensive tackles under contract this past season. We need to make it a priority. Hicks is a free agent. Draft Jordan Davis or Leal or Perrin Winfrey. I don't hate any of those. I like Larry Ogunjobi. I try to bring back Philon and Thomas. I don't know how much money they're going to ask for. I know Philon just had a pretty bad injury. So you have to take that into consideration too. But yeah, we do need to shore up that position too. But anyway, I think I'm gonna head off here. Last thing I'll say, guys, just a reminder, we got the Madden video coming up Sunday. It's the preseason. It's against the 49ers. It's super, super fun. You get to see some backups play too. We have a tough injury in that game is all I'll say to tease it. If you're new, subscribe. If you're old, God bless. Leave a like. Every Tuesday, we're going to have Just Talk Baby. That's pre-tape when I'm playing Madden and just talking to you guys. Every Thursday, we're going to be live. Leave comments on the Tuesday video for next Tuesday for me to answer at the end of it. And as always, please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. Much love to you too. And just win, baby. See ya. Go Rams.